Dear students, today we are going to discuss about three-phase fully controlled rectifier fed DC motor drive. When we are having a three-phase supply and we have to run a DC motor, then firstly we have to convert that three-phase supply into the DC supply with the help of a rectification application. And when we are using the thyristors which can be controlled as per the controlling the firing angle, then the rectifier circuit is said to be fully controlled rectifier circuit. And when we are using that fully controlled rectifier circuit for the rectification purpose, then we can say that that is the fully controlled rectifier fed DC drive. So we can see the circuit diagram for the same. Before going to the circuit diagram, the three-phase full converters are used in industrial application where the power required may be up to 150 or 1500 kilowatt. This type of operation is basically a two quadrant operation in which the average output voltage may be positive or negative, but the current is always positive. We can see the circuit diagram here. In this circuit diagram we are having 6 thyristors, a set of thyristors in upward direction and a set of thyristors in downward direction. So they are named as T1, T3, T5, T4, T6 and T2. The upper set is known as the odd numbered set, or it is said to be a positive set, whereas lower set is known as even number set, or it is negative set. The positive and negative names are given as the thyristor T1, T3 and T5 turn on for the positive cycles, and whereas the T2, T4 and T6 turn on for negative cycles. Here we can see that it is a two quadrant operation. VA can be a positive or negative, but the armature current is always positive in this case. Therefore it is a two quadrant operation. Here we can see the basically the graphical representation how we can obtain the armature voltage. Now if we consider alpha equal to 60 degree, then T1 will turn on at pi by 3 plus 60, that is 120 degree, then T2 will be turning on at 120 plus 60, T3 will be turning on at 120 plus 60 means 240 degree, and so on. So we can see the phasor diagram basically. In this phasor diagram we can see that first of all we can see that the currents in thyristor T1. So IT1 we can see that pi by 3 plus alpha to pi plus alpha here. So it is the turning on period of the thyristor T1. When we say that the alpha is equal to 60 degree, then pi by 3 plus 60, that will be equal to 120 degree. And this is pi plus 60, it means pi means 180 degree plus 60 means 240 degree. So it is from 120 degree to 240 degree. Similarly we can see the current of thyristor T2, that is from 120 plus alpha, that is 60 degree starting here. Similarly we can see IT3 IT4, IT5 and IT6. We can see the currents here in this diagram. Here the supply voltages are given. We can see that here is VRY, that is the base voltage starting from 0 degree. Then this we can see here, that is VBR, and this which is starting from here, that is VYB. So VRY, VYB and VBR. Similarly, we can see their negative voltages, that is, if we are talking about this voltage, that is YB, then the negative voltage will be VBY. Here we are talking about this voltage, this is VBR, so negative voltage is VRB. And similarly here we are talking about this voltage is VRY, so negative voltage is VYR. So these are dotted lines are shown for the negative voltages, and these solid lines are shown for the positive sequence, and this is for the negative sequence. Now here we can see that at this VRY, here is, we can see that here is VRY, and at 2 pi by 3, that is pi by 3 plus alpha we have assumed in first case is pi by 3. So at 2 pi by 3 the thyristor T1 get turned on, and this will be turned on up to 120 degree as we have discussed earlier. And similarly at 120 plus 60 means at pi or 180 degree our thyristor T2 will turn on. So in this cycle we are having T1 T6 turning on, here we are having T1 T2 turning on, and similarly for remaining cycles T2 T3, T3 T4, T5 T6, and here again we can see that this is repeated here, T4 T5, T5 T6. So we can draw this particular diagram with the help of this diagram and considering the currents and the alpha. So with the help of this alpha and these currents, we can easily plot this particular phasor diagram. Now if we consider the second case where we assume alpha equal to 120 degree, the T1 will be triggered at omega equal to 120 plus 60, that will be 180 degree. Similarly T2 will be triggering at 240 degree and so on. So we can see the waveform. The average output voltage is negative. This means that the DC source is delivering power to the AC source. This type of operation is known as line commutated inverter operation. So we can firstly see the waveforms for this. This is the case when we have considered alpha equal to 120 degree. Here we have considered alpha equal to 120 degree. The supply voltages are all same as we have considered earlier, and similarly we can see the current waveforms T1, T2, T3, T4 all are same, but here the value of alpha is get changed. So the turning on angle for the thyristor 1, thyristor 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so on have get changed. Due to that, our output waveform will be changed. Here if we talk about this VRB, after 180 degree of pi it will be getting reversed, or we can say that it is negative. So the thyristor 1 is turning on and will be having this shape, negative shape. So we'll be getting the voltage output in negative direction. And similarly, after the 60 degree, our next thyristor T2 will turn on. Sorry, when alpha is 60 degree, it will be turning on after 60 degree. When alpha is 120 degree, it will be turning on after 120 degree, and hence all other thyristor will be turning on, and we will be having the pairs like the T1 T2, T3 T4, T4 T5 and so on. So with the help of the particular alpha, we can form the phasor diagram as considered here. In particular case, we can see that in every set, suppose we are taking this set T1 and T6, or we are taking this set T1 and T2, or the set T2 T3, in every set we are having one even number and one odd number, or we can say one thyristor is from the upper part and one thyristor is from the lower part. So always there is a combination of the thyristors, one from positive and one from negative set, which will be forming the complete set. So in this way we can consider both the operations. In this, the voltage is negative, the current is positive, so it is forming the fourth quadrant operation. Whereas the previous case, when the alpha was 60 degree, in that the voltage as well as current both are positive, so this is forming the first quadrant operation, and hence we can, as we have seen earlier, the two quadrant operation. So one is in first quadrant, another is in second quadrant, as fourth quadrant operation. First quadrant operation and the fourth quadrant operation. So we can say that when alpha is from 0 to 90 degree, this converter operates in rectification mode, power flows from source to load. And when alpha is from 90 to 180 degree, the converter operates in inverter mode, power flows from load to source. It is also said as a regenerative braking mode. Thank you.